A service of KIBMradio.com, the Internet's home for an all old-time radio.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America.
There is a generation of whom you may not ask belief in earth or sky or men. You may not ask unless you know the world in which they found themselves. And if you would know their world, then hear the words of Isaiah.
We look for light, but behold darkness. For brightness, but we walk in gloom. We grope for the wall like the blind. Yea, as they that have no eyes do we grope, and stumble at noonday as in the twilight. We are in dark places, like the dead.
Yet I give you leave to ask, for I was of that generation in the dark places, and I am alive, and I know what I believe. In the fall of 1941, the darkness spread over half the world. And in Vilna, as in other cities of Poland and Lithuania, walls of stone and barbed wire arose. Behind the walls in the ghettos, the Nazis established factories, and we worked for them. Each factory in charge of an overseer, and we worked for him. Slaves under a master.
Corporal! You, Heinrich!
You called me, Phil Weberschmidt?
Heinrich, I think I will make a speech.
Jawohl, I will listen.
The speech is not for you. Stop the machine.
Stop the machine!
Oh, you Dummkopf. How did you ever become a corporal?
What you said.
Throw the switch. The machines will stop.
Jawohl.
That's better. Well, Jews, it's not so bad, You have all worked for me a long time, and it's not so bad. Isn't that so?
Yeah.
I give you bread on time, don't I?
Yeah. Yes, Your Excellency.
And soup, too, eh, Bobman?
Yes, Your Excellency. Soup, too.
As for me, I have no complaints. You are good Jews. You work, the factory meets the quota of uniforms every month, exactly to pattern and well sewed. And that's how it is. And I'm pleased with you. And you are pleased with me, isn't that so?
Yes, Your Excellency.
You don't have to say anything, Bobman. I know. And how do I know? Because only yesterday the workers of this factory gave me, their overseer, of their own free will, they gave me as a present this fine gold watch. And that is what I want to talk about. Now, I know your intentions were good. But a watch by itself, there is something missing, isn't there? Bobman, isn't there something missing?
A watch chain, Excellency.
A gold watch chain. I see that you understand. I tell you, I have the best Jews in all Vilna. All right, back to work. Heinrich, start the machines.
Myerson.
I didn't say anything.
You don't have to. The look on your face is enough.
Our good friend. He gives us bread on time. Fartman, it turns my stomach.
All the same, take care.
You two. No talking. Get to work.
We are working.
No insolence. I'll teach you how to talk to a German officer. No violence. We always try to avoid unnecessary violence, don't we, Fartman?
Yes, Your Excellency.
There, Heinrich. You see how to do it?
Excellency.
Be still, Myerson.
Feldwebel Schmidt. He's only a sergeant. Excellent.
It's a little thing.
Self-respect is not a little thing.
Keep your head down. Myerson, you want luxuries in the ghetto? When you've been here as long as I have, you'll know there are bad Germans and not so bad. Schmidt is not so bad.
He's a Nazi.
But he doesn't steal half our bread. He never uses the whip he carries, and you saw he doesn't let the guards beat us.
Let us be grateful for small things.
Myerson, my friend, it is no small thing to remain alive.
We remained alive by the bread that Schmidt held in his hands. Every morning we arose and said goodbye to wives and children. And every evening we kissed them as if we had returned from a long and perilous journey from which there might be no return. We ate the bread and then we slept. Except those nights when we were awakened.
Everybody out of the building! Line up in the street! Line up! Get on your side, women over there, move! Move! Yes! Get in the truck! And you, hurry up, in the truck! This man, get back in the house. Next one, in the truck! Stop him! Roll him over to the side. All right, you, get in. Next man. That's all for the street.
Then it was quiet again. But we did not sleep. The next morning, there were always empty places at the machines in the factory. And sometimes we could hear Schmidt talking to a Gestapo sergeant.
There's no use arguing with me, Schmidt. I have my orders.
How am I supposed to run a factory and meet my quota if you people keep taking my workers?
We don't take those who can work. Not yet, anyway. Only the useless ones.
All my Jews do a day's work. At least you might let me know in advance when there's going to be a raid.
What for? Besides, I don't know myself. Nobody does, till we get the orders.
Still, an affair like that has to be planned.
Sure. That's the colonel's problem.
Yes, so it is. Sergeant, the colonel's adjutant used to be a man by the name of,
Kruger.
Yeah, Kruger. He would know when there's going to be a raid, wouldn't he?
Pull the switch. You are looking at the clock, Jews? By my gold watch and chain, it is exactly 1 hour before the usual time for stopping the machines. Don't think now you are getting a vacation. You are working overtime tonight.
The regulations say we...
I make the regulations here.
If it is permitted to speak, Your Excellency.
What is it, Podman?
How long will it be?
Until the work is finished, all night if necessary.
But our families...
You have an extra hour now. Go and bring them here.
Here? To the factory?
I will feed them and they can sleep on the floor.
Excuse me, Excellency. My wife is sick, rheumatism. It is not easy for her to move.
Do as you are told.
Yes, sir.
That's better. Be back in 1 hour. Go on, all of you. From the windows. Stay at your machines. Not enough work for tonight.
All right, Jews. You and your families. You can go to sleep now.
It's simple enough, Farbman. Schmidt found out from his friend, the colonel's adjutant.
Oh, he did. Kruger, my friend, I suppose he said, tell me, when are your men coming to pick up some more Jews for the concentration camps?
Are you really so innocent? Tongues must loosen at those drunken parties in his living quarters.
And so on the night of the raid, he keeps us in the factory.
He's not a fool. He needs his workers. As long as the factory produces and meets the quotas, they won't send into the Africa Corps or the Russian front.
Tell me, does he also need our families? Why did he have to bring them to the factory?
How should I know what goes on in the mind of a German soldier?
It's simple, you said.
Well, he has his reasons.
Meyerson, the night of the raid when it was over and the lights were out, someone came to where we were lying on the floor. Here, Jew, he said, and threw it at me.
Threw what?
A mattress filled with, I don't know what, paper, old rags. And he threw it. But it was a mattress for my wife, on account of her rheumatism.
All right, Farbman, all right. What does it prove?
I don't know. Maybe nothing. Or maybe that understanding even a German soldier is not a simple thing.
There was no difficulty in understanding the German intention. More and more, the nights were torn by the stamp of boots and the roaring of trucks and the silence of departure. There were more empty places at the machines, and each disappearance was a loss to those who remained, bringing us all a little closer to death.
So many, Meyerson. So many. Last week, 15 from this factory alone. And today, the man who worked at the machines next to yours, what's his name? Meyerson.
Oh, his name is Levine.
Today Levine was gone. He'll make an end of all of us in Vilna. Meyerson, you're not listening.
Farbman, there was no raid yesterday.
No, not in our section.
Levine lived in our street.
He must have come for him quietly in the night.
The Gestapo never comes quietly. His wife and son are also gone.
To be taken alone. One family. That seems even worse.
I'm trying to tell you, Farbman. I spoke to Levine's brother-in-law. He wouldn't say anything at first, but in the end he told me. Farbman, Levine was not taken by the Gestapo.
What are you saying?
I've been asking questions and putting things together. There have been others, not many. But it can be done. Farbman, it's possible to get out of Vilna.
No. How? Tell me, Meyerson. How?
The man to see is Steiner, who works in the shoe factory near the station. When we've talked to Steiner, we'll know.
Where have you brought us, Steiner?
Well, don't worry, Farbman. You're safe here, you and Meyerson.
I don't like it. This house, I don't like it.
It's a real high-class house,
Rugs on the floor. Pictures on the wall.
I agree with Meyerson. It doesn't seem right for the headquarters of a secret organization.
Secret organization? Oh, you want to get out of Vilna, don't you? How do you think it's done?
I don't know. Maybe a tunnel under the wall. Or the barbed wire is cut in a certain section.
No, you wouldn't get far that way. No, my friend. You go through the gate.
Through the gate?
Don't you see, Farbman? This house belongs to a German officer.
And what an officer. Just feel this tablecloth.
Yeah. The price is high, Steiner, isn't it?
You have to pay. But considering what you're buying and the risk to him, it's reasonable.
You get a share, naturally.
Why not? Middleman is entitled to a small commission.
A commission on life and death.
And what's the matter with you all of a sudden?
How much? It's my life and I'm paying.
Oh, you're superior, aren't you? You're pure. It's all right to buy your life, but it's wrong if somebody takes money for it.
You listen to me, Stein.
No. I didn't send for you. No one made you come to me. If you don't like it, then you're free to leave.
Free to stay here and die.
Stop it, Meyerson. It's not his fault.
Well, forget it. I know how you feel. Only, Meyerson, don't you think I also want to get out of Vilna? Let me know how it turns out.
You can't go, Steiner. We have to talk.
No, not with me. Make the arrangements with the German. He'll be here.
It's almost an hour. How long can we wait?
Till he comes, Meyerson.
Firemen are not easy about this whole affair. Even if we have enough money, how do we know we'll get what we're paying for?
There are no guarantees, Meyerson. Still, I'll tell you what it's like. In the old days when my wife used to buy fish, I would ask, how do you know if the fish is fresh? And she would answer, how do I know? I poke the fish in the belly and I know. Meyerson, we'll poke around a little bit, and we'll know.
Let's say we get out of Vilna. Then where do we go?
To another city, Lieder, Bialystok. Any place where they haven't begun these raids.
If we could get to the Baltic coast. From there, even in a small boat, we could reach Sweden.
Then we'll try to get to the Baltic. But first we have to get out of Vilna. He's coming.
Schmidt!
Your Excellency, we...
So it's you and Meyerson. It would be a shame to lose two such workers from the factory, but that can't be helped, can it?
If it is permitted to explain...
There's no time. You first, Meyerson. How many in your family? Speak up, man. Don't you want to get out of Vilna?
For 9 days we waited. Each day we worked in the factory under His Excellency Feldwebel Anton Schmidt. And at night we sat in the dark, our possessions in a paper suitcase or wrapped in a sheet, waiting for Anton Schmidt to take us out of Vilna.
You will leave tomorrow morning early. Well, take your things and come along.
You said tomorrow, Steiner.
He can't pick you up separately like a chauffeur in a limousine. Bring your families. You will spend the night in the basement of Schmidt's house.
Farben, come here and look out into the street.
What can you see from the basement window? Legs?
Yes, legs and boots, military boots. Watch where they go.
What do you mean, where? Well, they go past the window and then... Meyerson! He came into this house.
I counted 7 soldiers to come into this house. We're fools, Farben.
Maybe it's not the way it seems.
What else can it mean? We should have expected this. That's Schmidt. Now, when he comes through the door, I'll pin his arms and Jacob's.
Yeah.
Your hands at his throat to keep him quiet. You understand?
I understand.
Wait, Meyerson.
Do as I say, Farben, and you take his pistol. Ready? Give me the gun, Farben, and close the door. Now, let him go, Jacobs. Schmidt. You make a sound, you're a dead man.
Wouldn't do you much good to shoot me.
Nothing will do us any good now. We have nothing to lose.
You don't trust me, Then why should you? It would be easy enough to take your money and then betray you,
We saw them come into the house. Who were they? Gestapo?
Yes. The colonel's adjutant. Also the aide to the commandant of transport and a few others. I'm having a little party upstairs.
And we are to provide the entertainment.
No. The bottle is enough entertainment for my friends. And they pay. Without knowing it, they pay. I borrowed a truck for tomorrow from my friend in the transport command. Friends here and there let me know, in all innocence, you understand, which towns are safe and which are active, as the Gestapo puts it.
It sounds reasonable, Meyerson.
Of course it does. How else would it sound?
Come now, Meyerson. Why should I take your money and betray you?
That's the wrong question, Schmidt. You're an officer in the German army. The question is, why shouldn't you do it? Farben, we have no choice.
You make me out a fool. I like rugs, expensive furniture. Would I cut off a source of money by failing to deliver what I sell?
Schmidt,
We need an explanation not of what you do, but why you do it.
So? I am to defend myself before a hostile jury,
Don't you see, Schmidt? We want to believe you. It's not only your fate that is being decided.
Who knows the whys and the reasons? What do you want me to tell you?
You're a German army officer. Begin with that.
Yes, I am a German officer. But it does not mean that I brought you here or that I want to keep you here. It does not mean that I believe that nonsense about Aryans or that I think it is right that Jews are beaten and murdered and thrown into concentration camps to rot. I'm not a person with complicated thoughts. I'll tell you what I believe. I believe that a man is a human being after all. I came down for a few bottles there on the shelf for my friends upstairs.
Jacobs, give him the bottles.
There will be questions if my gun is missing. Give it to him, Myson. Thank you. Try to sleep a little for tomorrow. It is not restful riding in a German army truck. We are not far from Lida. There is a checkpoint with guards just outside the town. Now remember what you are supposed to be. Jews in transit to a factory in Lida. Not that the guard will question you, but it would be better if you all looked a little more depressed, if you know what I mean. Not so excited.
There's something I want to ask you, Schmidt.
It will have to wait, Farbman. There is the checkpoint. Who is the guard on duty today, Heinrich?
They look like Lithuanians.
Good. Drive up fast and stop at the last minute, but keep the engine running.
Your papers, please, Herr Offizier.
They are in order, and I'm in a hurry. Get out of the way.
If I may see them.
You question the word of a German officer? Out of the way, you Lithuanian pig, or I run you down! You heard me call you running down. Did you see him jump? We haven't caught one yet, have we, Heinrich? Of course, when the guys are German, it's a different story. But we manage, eh?
That's what I wanted to ask you. You make these trips often, don't you?
Not always to the same place, but often enough.
What if a guard should recognize you and begin to think
Bobbman, that would be bad. But I will tell you how it is. There is a certain oriental rug belonging to a major in the commandant's office. 1,000 marks, and it is mine.
That's why you make these trips.
Why not? Transport is a good business. Meyerson doesn't like that. He likes things to be simple, I think. A man is a good man, or else he should be black as the devil, eh, Meyerson?
I didn't say anything.
No. And who am I to speak for you? Driver, stop at the end of the street. Now, you all know where you're to go. Everybody out of the truck and get started. Wait, Farbman.
Yes?
How much money do you have? How much do you have? So that's how it is, huh? Here. Take this.
It's the money I paid you.
Don't worry, I'll make it up on someone who can afford it.
With all the words that have been spoken, one thing has not been said.
It's not necessary, Farbman.
You're wrong, Schmidt. It has to be said. Thank you.
Some things go without saying. Because a man is a human being, after all.
Anton Schmidt, Feldwebel in the army of the Third Reich, returned to Vilna and was taken by the Gestapo. Write his name in your remembrance. For in the dark places where there were no men, he was a man.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting the Honorable Charles H. Silver, President of the Board of Education in New York City. Mr. Silver.
We have just heard a moving depiction of the meaning of brotherhood and the way it overcame even the fear and degradation of Nazi Germany. That is because brotherhood is not just a word. It is a way of life. The spirit of brotherhood is not limited to any age or nation. It is no 7-day wonder to be celebrated for a single week and then forgotten. Brotherhood is the eternal light of man's love and compassion for his fellow man. It is the flame in the heart of the conscience of humanity, the cornerstone of freedom and equality. In my day-to-day work on the Board of Education, I see more than 1 million children attending the public schools of New York each year. This is an immense mingling of races and cultures, an enormous melting pot of mixed traditions, and our schools are all the richer for it. I see a great lesson to be learned in the harmony and fellowship of these children, working, studying, and playing together. They are weaving an endless tapestry called tomorrow. Each contributes a thread, and no two threads are quite alike. That is what makes the pattern so beautiful. When I think of America, I marvel of how much other lands have contributed to the creation and development of this blessed country. It is like looking at a rainbow and realizing how many colors have blended to fashion its blazing glory. Today, the most envied honor is to be a citizen of the United States of America. This is true not alone because we are the greatest nation in the world, but because we are the guardians of a precious heritage of freedom. Brotherhood is part of our being every minute of every day, a beacon light for less fortunate lands, a rainbow that must never fade. Keep brotherhood alive, so that liberty may never die, so that America may live for all time as an eternal symbol of hope to all the peoples of the earth.
Thank you, Mr. Silver. Our Eternal Light drama today, The Dark Places, was written by Joseph Mindell and was based on the manuscript Was There Another Germany During the Nazi Period by Dr. Philip Friedman. It was presented in observance of Brotherhood Week. Cantor Robert Siegel sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Norman Rose, Leon Jenny as Meyerson, Santos Ortega as Farbman, Mandel Kramer as Schmidt, Daniel Acco as Heinrich, Sam Gray as an officer of the Gestapo, and Nelson Olmsted as Steiner. This is Mel Brandt. Our director was Kenneth McGregor. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's program, Mystery on Belmont Street, was written by Joseph Mindell.
Well, what is it, boy? Speak up.
I told you. I want to find Elijah.
Elijah?
He's been gone a whole day.
Well, now, we're pretty busy around here. We only look for lost dogs in our spare time.
But, Sergeant, this is...
I'll tell you what to do. Just 28th Precinct, Sergeant Coleman. Son, you go to the SPCA. They'll find him for you, huh? Now, look, well, don't get excited, lady. Yes, ma'am, sure, I'm listening.
Oh, but, Sergeant, this
All right,
is very...
beat it, kid. Can't you see I'm busy? Yes, I hear you, lady. Yeah. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah. What? What do you mean, a shaggy dog? What is it? Oh, a beard.
That's him.
I see, lady. What has he done, this guy with the beard?
Don't listen to her.
All right. All right, lady. Yeah, well, give me that number again, huh? Mm-hmm. That's Belmont Street. Okay, we look into it.
Don't believe what they say about Elijah.
Oh, you still here?
He wouldn't do anything bad.
Sure, Now, he didn't bite anybody, did he?
Sergeant, you gotta find him.
Now, look, I told you what to do, son. You go to
All
the
right, you won't help me. I'll
SPCA
find him myself.
Come back here, boy. Come here, kid. 28th Precinct, Sergeant Coleman. Yeah. Yeah. Elijah. Now, wait a minute, mister. Wait a minute. Are you talking about a man with a beard on Belmont Street? Never mind how I know. I'll take care of it. Conroy, take the desk. I'm going down to Belmont Street. All right, quiet, everybody. Quiet.
Let the sergeant talk.
Oh, thanks, mister. Who are you?
Me? I'm Noah Wolf, the butcher down the street. Now, about the light.
You're the one who called the precinct?
That's right. You see, he didn't come last night to the boarding house here, Mrs. Meyer's boarding house.
That's me.
You called the first time, Mrs. Meyer, huh?
I was worried, Sergeant. He lived there a month and...
5 weeks, Sergeant.
And it never happened before.
All right. So what?
Sergeant, Elijah didn't even come home to sleep.
So he stayed out all night. Why all the excitement?
There's more. Tell him, Mrs. Meyer.
Well, I found an envelope on my table full of money. A lot of money.
Show it to him, Mrs. Meyer. I want you to notice something, Sergeant.
Are you trying to teach me my business?
Who, me?
Okay, then.
All the same, if you take a look at the money, you'll see the bills on the old ones. You know, gold standard?
Yeah, that's right.
It's against the law to own or pass this kind of money, isn't it, Sergeant?
Yes, it is. I guess I'll have to turn this in, Mrs. Meyer.
Besides, where would a man like Elijah get so much cash?
Are you saying he stole it?
I'm not making any accusations, you understand. Of course, he has a beard.
No, Sergeant, don't pay any attention to Wolf. He's suspicious of anybody who isn't exactly like him.
Is that so, Abe? Maybe you didn't have some ideas yourself about Elijah, I mean.
No, I didn't.
I quote your own words, Abe. It's a strange thing you said, how Elijah never goes anyplace, just hangs around Belmont Street day and night.
For your information, Noah, not everybody has to work for a living, at least not all the time.
Don't give me any lessons. Just ask anybody here about Elijah.
Well, I would know a lot.
All right. Now, look, all I want is some facts. Now this Elijah, where did he come from? What did he do for a living? Well?
Nobody knows, Sergeant.
Who saw him when he first came to Belmont Street?
I guess that was Zeke.
My son Ezekiel. Where is he gone?
All right, now, please, Mrs. Meyer, please. I want to hear this, huh?
Oh, he should be home
Please,
by now.
one thing at a time. Let's have it, mister.
I was standing out in front of my store that day. Zeke was running down the street. Maybe the other kids were chasing him. I don't know. But he ran right into Elijah just as he turned the corner and came down Belmont.
Oh, I'm sorry, mister. I didn't mean to...
Your mouth is open, boy.
What do you want to have such a long beard for?
Do you really want to know?
I asked you, didn't I?
Well, then I'll tell you. It's because... how can I not have a beard? You see?
Well...
Now, never mind. You tell me something. I saw how you were running. What's wrong with your foot, boy? Would you mind my asking?
Nah, I guess not. Well, you're practically the only person that ever asked me straight out. It's a clubfoot. I was born that way.
It can be made better.
Sure. I know about the operation.
Maybe someday it can be done.
Yeah. Well, I gotta get going. They're after me.
Who?
The fellas.
But why?
I don't know. They just are. They always are. I hope I didn't hurt you running into you like that.
You didn't hurt me.
Hey, mister, you live on Belmont Street?
Not yet, boy. Not yet.
Well, what do you see, mister?
I was reading the sign on your store window. Abe, the fix-it man.
That's me. Something bothering you?
From the things in your window, I can't decide what it is that you fix.
Umbrellas, vacuum cleaners, baby carriages, can openers, anything as long as it's broken. I'm very mechanically inclined.
It's a useful talent.
I make a living. State of the world being what it is.
And, what is the state of the world, if I may ask?
Cracked in 1,000 places and breaking up.
I see. Tell me, Abe, my friend, what are you doing to hold it together? Well, you have nothing to say?
It's my policy not to get involved in theoretical discussion.
Well, maybe you'll answer a practical question. Where can I find Mrs. Meyer's boarding house?
How do you know about Mrs. Meyer and her boarding house? You're not from the neighborhood.
No, I was sent.
Who? Who sent you? Ah, I know. It was that Julius. What's his name? Trying to make an impression on a handsome widow. He sent you, didn't he? A short man with red hair?
If you'll just tell me which house it is.
I'll take you there myself. I also live at Mrs. Meyer's boarding house.
I hope you like it here.
I think I will, Mrs. Meyer.
Your room is on the second floor. Noah, maybe you would be good enough to help Carol.
Of course.
Don't trouble yourself. I have only this.
Only a knapsack? Your bags must be at the station, or maybe you had them sent.
No.
No luggage? You came as you are?
Just as I am.
Noah, you shouldn't ask so many questions.
Mrs. Meyer, I tell you this as a friend and a businessman. You should have a week's rent in advance.
Oh, no.
Of course, Mrs. Meyer. I insist.
If you're sure you can spare it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Breakfast is at 7 o'clock.
Yes, 7. Unless you have to get up early.
Please, Noah.
7 o'clock will suit me.
Mrs. Meyer is very considerate. Whatever time you have to go to work.
Well, nothing special on my account. Please.
Just what is your work?
Well, at the moment, my time is more or less my own.
Aha, you see? He's out of work.
Mrs. Meyer, How would it be if I paid the rent for a month in advance?
Oh, you're on your vacation?
Not exactly. More like a visit.
Well, if you say so. Only why should anyone come to Belmont Street for a visit? I've never heard of anyone coming to Belmont Street just for a visit.
Did he ever tell you why, Mrs. Meyer? Mrs. Meyer, did he ever tell you why he came here to your boarding house?
Ezekiel is a good boy, Sergeant. He should have been here home by this time.
You don't have to worry, Mrs. Meyer. He'll come home when he's through playing.
Did you see him today, Abe? Through your store window?
No, but, I was very busy today.
Noah, did you?
Kids, who sees kids?
Just a minute. Where are you going?
I have looked for my boy.
All right, sit down, please, Mrs. Meyer. I think maybe I saw your son today.
You know where he is?
No, but I think when we find Elijah, we'll find your son, too.
Is he... did they bring him in here?
This is the emergency ward. Lots of people are brought in every day.
Now, he's a big man with a long beard down in there.
You don't say.
Oh, I'm not fooling.
Mm-hmm. Well, a man with a beard down to there.
Is he here?
No, he's not here.
He didn't even look in one of those cards.
What makes you think he's in a hospital?
Well, because I looked all over.
There are lots of places he could go.
He's my friend. He wouldn't go away without saying anything. Mister, are you sure he's not here?
Look, it's getting late, Sonny. You better go home.
I can't. I have to find Elijah.
Aren't you going to go out and look for the man, Sergeant?
Oh, be reasonable. Where would I go?
Are you asking me to teach you your business?
Well, he's lived here a month or more. Now, what places did he go to? What did he do?
That I can tell you. He would sit in the sun with the women and the baby carriages and talk.
Sergeant, I used to see him walking down to the docks with Zeke.
Talk all the time. That was him. In and out of the stores on Belmont Street, talking.
About what?
About things that were none of his business. Like that day in my butcher shop, when I just told Mrs. Gordon no more credit, and I turned around and there he was, with a funny kind of expression on his face.
You are a hard man, Noah. I didn't see you come in, Elijah. Mrs. Gordon wants only half a pound of meat.
I know, but on Belmont Street we have a custom. If you want something, you have to be able to pay for it.
Belmont Street is not unlike the rest of the world, Noah. She'll pay you when her husband finds work.
Not that it's any of your affair, Elijah, but she already owes me for 6 weeks. How long do you think I can stay in business by giving credit indefinitely?
I don't know.
I know. It's my business.
I keep thinking that her children are hungry.
You suppose that gives me pleasure? Elijah, you always have a few dollars in your pocket, even though you don't work.
I manage.
Then if your heart is so tender, you could settle her bill.
Of course. How much is it? How much, Noah?
Keep your money, Elijah. I'll take care of my own business. Mrs. Gordon, come back a minute, Mrs. Gordon. What was it you wanted, Mrs. Gordon? Half a pound of shoulder chuck?
Elijah, I want to ask you a question.
Of course, Abe.
You can blind Noah's eyes by making him angry.
Well, that was not my intention.
And you can fool Mrs. Meyer with talk about a vacation, a visit.
I didn't say that.
Now, people have remarkable difficulty in knowing what you say.
Yes, I have noticed. And yet it seems to me that I speak plainly.
Elijah, why did you come to Belmont Street?
Surely you have guessed.
How? How could I guess? You're looking for somebody. For something?
You might put it that way.
It's not a question of how I put it. Why did you come here?
If I tell you plainly, you will say you do not understand. Or else, you will not believe me.
How do you know until you try?
Oh, yes. Abe, so much evil is done in the world. I came to see how things are on Belmont Street.
You could simply have refused to answer me.
You see, you don't believe me.
Oh, in heaven's name, Elijah, you're not a fool. What do you expect to find on Belmont Street? Elijah, it no longer makes sense to talk about good and evil, about virtue and righteousness. You have to take the world as it is.
You are trying to be cynical.
Oh, believe me, Elijah, I don't have to try very hard. But I have no illusions about the world or myself. I don't expect something for nothing. I work for my living, and I'm not complaining.
I've noticed that, too. It's one of your virtues.
Oh, what's the use? Will you tell me something, Elijah? If you find what you're looking for here on Belmont Street, what then?
Then I'd like to see you good rewarded. Wouldn't you? It would make my visit here seem very worthwhile.
Well, I guess it's about time I went into action. I'll send out a pickup for Elijah and the boy, too, Mrs. Meyer. Radio cars will keep an eye out for them.
And the money, Sergeant?
Well, I'm turning it in, of course.
Mrs. Meyer, make him give you a receipt. You put it in an envelope, Sergeant, and seal it.
What for?
Then we all initial it, and it will be Exhibit A when Elijah comes to trial.
Oh, what are you talking about, Noah? Trial for what?
How should I know, Abe? Am I a lawyer? Well, Sergeant?
All right. I'll make out a receipt for the money, Mrs. Meyer.
Count it for...
Oh, now look here, Mr.
Wolf is the name.
This money is like Confederate bills. You can't spend it. Now, if you think that
Nothing personal, Sergeant. Just count it.
20, 40, 60, 80, 100. Mrs. Meyer, why would a man you hardly know leave all this money for you? 20.
I've been trying to think why, Sergeant.
82.
I don't know. I don't understand.
40, 60, 80, 81, 82. Maybe he doesn't know the money's no good, but still he leaves you $282, and then he... What are you all looking at? What did I say?
How much money, Sergeant?
Yes, it is kind of funny. Why not 250 or 300? Why exactly $282? Maybe you know why. You do. You all know. Come on, out with it. Just a minute, you. Where do you think you're going?
I'm going to find Elijah.
That is a job for the police.
Fine. The police can use their methods. I'll look for him my way.
Elijah! Elijah!
Well, I've been waiting for you.
Well, all of a sudden it came to me. Be down here by the docks. I ran all the way.
Oh, you didn't have to run.
I was worried. You didn't come home all night.
I have much to do, boy, and little time.
I thought maybe you were never coming back. Elijah, I don't want you to go away. You're my friend.
Well, that's a very nice thing to say to someone, Ezekiel. Sit down here.
Okay.
Ezekiel, we'll find other friends.
Don't you think I've tried? Fellows make fun of me on account of my foot. Sometimes they chase me. You know I can't get away from them.
Maybe you can have that operation?
Where would my mother get $282?
You know the amount exactly?
Oh, sure I know. I've been thinking about it ever since I was old enough. $200 for the doctor, $80 for the hospital.
And the rest?
I was only wishing anyhow. I thought a little bit more wouldn't be too much. $2 for a real book. Not a library book. I mean for when I was in the hospital. Oh, what's the use? It's only wishing anyhow.
It's important to wish for what you want, Ezekiel.
Yeah, only sometimes you get mixed up. I used to think that the operation on my foot was the most important thing in the world. If only I was normal like everybody else. Everybody would be all right. You know what I mean, Elijah?
Yes, I know what you mean.
But if I was wishing now, you know what I'd wish for?
Maybe $282 is a good place to begin.
I'd wish for a friend. You're thinking I'm just a dumb kid.
No, Ezekiel. I'm thinking how glad I am that I came to Belmont Street.
Wait for me, Abe.
What are you doing here, Noah? Why did you follow me?
It's a public place. I don't want to argue with you, Abe. Elijah used to come here to the docks with the boy, didn't he?
What if he did?
Oh, with two of us looking, there's a better chance of finding him.
I think it would be better if I found him without you.
All right, be stubborn, you tinker. I'll look by myself.
Wait a minute, Noah.
What do you want?
I didn't know you were such a friend of Elijah's.
Elijah's a fool. A man works hard, saves a little money. Then he finds a boy on Belmont Street and gives it all away. And gets himself into trouble. He's a fool.
Then turn around and go home. I don't understand why this should be your concern.
Who says you have to understand? I tell you plainly, it's none of your business if I also want to make a fool of myself.
Thank God we found you.
Elijah, the police are looking for you.
Police?
You're frightening the boy, Noah.
Oh, you have to hide, Elijah.
He's right. If you stay out of sight for a few days...
Now,
then...
what have I done that the police should be looking for me?
The money. Those gold certificates. They're not legal anymore.
So that's it. Well, a foolish mistake.
Never mind that. Now, this is what I have in mind. Elijah, you're not listening.
Don't you see, Noah? He doesn't want to hide.
It's all right. We'll persuade him.
No. Because how can he hold the world together if he hides?
I don't know what you're talking about.
He came looking for one thing and he's found another. What did he expect?
What's the matter with you all of a sudden?
Even the prophet Elijah couldn't find good on Belmont Street.
You make yourself unhappy, Abe.
No, don't be sorry for me.
You insist that human beings should be perfect.
You're the one who came looking.
Not for saints. It's enough for me that ordinary men and women do good things. Some of the time.
Good things don't happen on Belmont Street, Elijah. You couldn't even give away the money you came to give.
Abe, how do you know what I came to give?
The police.
Run, Elijah, quick. No, don't let them catch him.
We'll put him in the cellar of my store. Zeke, get down to the corner and see which way that police car's headed.
Okay.
Come back, Zeke.
Oh, you heard what Noah said?
It's all right. Elijah's gone.
He's gone.
He was my friend.
You'll have other friends. Come on. Let's go home.
I'm tired. I just want to sit here for a little while.
Late, Zeke. I'll carry you.
No, Abe, I'll take him. Many a calf I've carried on my shoulders. Hold on, Zeke. Up you go.
Abe, I don't understand.
It isn't necessary to understand all the mysteries of the world. It's the way things are. When Elijah comes to Belmont Street, you don't always know who he is. And you don't know until after he's gone what he came to give.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York, 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting Mr. Sam J. Halpern of Miami Beach, Florida, chairman of the South Florida Committee of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America and a prominent community leader. Mr. Halpern.
There is a tradition in Judaism of the 36, the Lamed Vavniks, the 36 anonymous individuals in each generation who sustain the world by their acts, who influence for the good everything with which they have contact. Elijah, the central character of today's story, possesses many of the qualities of the traditional Lamed Vavniks. It did not matter where Elijah came from. What mattered was that, by his presence on Belmont Street, the capacity for good which all of its inhabitants possessed was brought to light. Thus, the importance of these anonymous individuals lies in the first instance in what they themselves accomplish, and even more, in what response they evoke from others. And the sustaining meaning of this idea is not merely that there are a certain number of truly good persons in each generation, but that all men have the capacity for doing what is good and what is right. It is as if such a man as Elijah were a yardstick against which others could measure themselves, and to see to what extent they live up to the ideals of goodness, kindness, understanding, and compassion. But is it really necessary for individuals to encounter an Elijah in their lives in order to realize the potentialities for goodness which they possess? I think not. For what today's story proves once again is the wonderful fact that we all have an Elijah within ourselves, if only we look. We all have a conscience, a knowledge of the great religious and moral precepts which have guided action since civilization began. And these are the yardsticks against which we must measure our actions. These are the common ties of all human beings. These provide the basis of the tradition of the Lamed Vavniks. It is what we see in ourselves projected outward that makes this tradition so beautiful and so valid for all time.
Thank you, Mr. Halpern. Our Eternal Light drama today, Mystery on Belmont Street, was written by Joseph Mindell and directed by Kenneth McGregor. Cantor David Putterman sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Louis Van Ruten as Elijah, Bill Zuckert as Sergeant Coleman, Michael Mann as Ezekiel, Roger DeKoven as Noah, Nina Hansen as Mrs. Meyer, and Billy Redfield as Abe, and the signature voice by Norman Rose. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's program, The Man Who Laughed, was adapted by Marion Voigt from Lillian Freehoff's Stories of King Solomon, published by the Jewish Publication Society of America.
Is there anything stronger than a woman's curiosity? King Solomon once said there wasn't. And of course he was the wisest man who ever lived. Still, even wise men have second thoughts now and then. So hear now a story of how King Solomon had a second thought. It's a story of magic and laughter that all began when a friend of Solomon's named Asher went to visit him one year. Asher's visit was almost over, but there was one little ceremony without which none of Asher's visits was ever ended.
Come, Asher, I'll walk in the garden now, and you shall tell me what gift I shall give you this year.
But, Your Majesty, it's enough of a gift, surely, that you welcome me here at your palace and give me of your wisdom.
Now, Asher, there's no need for talk like that between us. You give me as much wisdom as I give you.
What, I? A poor farmer?
From whom else? When I hear truly how life goes in the hills, how the crops are, how heavily the taxes weigh. Come, I have a fine new horse.
Oh, but Your Majesty, you gave me a fine horse 2 years ago, so splendid a creature that I'm envied everywhere.
That's right. And last year, it was a pearl for Esther.
Yes, and such a pearl, Your Majesty. Truly, Esther has been beside herself all year, finding places safe enough for it, and then getting it out to admire it yet again.
I'm glad she liked the gift. Your Esther is a pearl herself, Asher.
She is indeed, Your Majesty. Life without her would not be worth the living.
Perhaps another gem for Esther this year. No, I would give a gift to you this time. So, what shall it be? Come, a turn to the arbor while I think.
Oh, but Your Majesty, truly, there's nothing. Good heavens, those squirrels! What ails them?
Hark! One is scolding it. Wonderful.
Wonderful.
You should have heard the insults that squirrel was crying to the other. He was saying, "Don't come to me for nuts next winter. I'll tie you up in your own tail." Truly, a squirrel's tongue is as sharp as his teeth.
Your Majesty, there is a gift I wish.
Oh?
I want to understand the speech of beasts and birds as you do. Or if only I could... Yes, Your Majesty, it would make me a truly happy man.
But, Asher...
So many hours of each day I am with the animals. So many times I've wished to understand that they're lowing, they're bleating, that they're neighing, but... Perhaps it's a gift you cannot give, sire.
No, not that. With my magic power, I could give you that understanding quite easily, Asher. It is for your own sake I hesitate.
For my sake?
There is danger in the power, Asher. Terrible danger. It is only my magic ring that keeps me safe. I could give you no such charm against the danger.
What danger could there be in understanding the speech of animals?
If I were to give you that understanding, and if you were then to tell anyone at all, that you had such power, you would die at once, Asher.
Die? Die?
I do not know why. All I know is that it is so.
But, Your Majesty, all that is needed, then, is the warning, and all will be well. I would breathe no word to anyone of my understanding.
You say that, Asher, but it is easy to say, but... You have been married to Esther how many years now? 20, 25?
22, Your Majesty.
Have you ever kept a secret from her in all that time?
You mean I couldn't even tell Esther?
You could not tell anyone. Keeping it from Esther might not be so easy, Asher. The strongest man has little hope against a woman when she suspects a mystery.
Oh, but why would she need suspect, sire? Truly, I'm not such a child that words fall from my lips all unwitting. And, sire, is it not when men and women quarrel that secrets most often burst into the open?
True, that is well observed, Asher.
But, Your Majesty, in 22 years I've never quarreled with Esther. Nor can I imagine myself ever doing so. I can keep the secret safe.
Asher, it is for your own sake only. But it is true you are not a child. Nor have I ever heard you plead for anything. Lean forward, Asher. I must whisper a certain word in each ear.
Lean forward.
So, now the other ear. All right, Asher.
You mean I have the power
You
now?
have the power. And from now on, your life depends on whether or not you can keep a secret, Asher, even from your wife. Above all, no hint to Esther of your new power. For there is nothing stronger in the world, old friend, than a woman's curiosity. Farewell now, and take care.
And so, with Solomon's warning ringing in his ears, Asher set off on the journey home. But it was impossible to stay serious long. Never had a gift brought with it such delight. Every step of the journey presented some new comedy. Two birds twittered on a bush by the road, and with his new power, Asher listened to their talk.
It's your turn, husband. Go get more worms for the little one. Quickly. My turn, but it's time now to practice my trills. You and your trills. I think I can go on day and night without rest so that you can trill. They're your little ones as well as mine. Go now. That way. None of that. Go, go. Can't you hear them shrieking? Worms, worms and more worms.
Worms, worms, more worms. And we say happy as a bird. The poor birds have their problems, too, I see.
A little farther down the road, Asher stopped again, as one sheep bleated to another in the field alongside. Come on, Asher heard the sheep bleating. You're supposed to follow the flock. But I don't want to, he heard the other sheep answer. Does every sheep in the world have to follow the flock whether he wants to or not?
Oh, there are rebels even in the world of sheep. Bravo, Lambkin, bravo.
Further yet along the road, Asher was laughing again, at an owl, angry at being wakened in the daylight, and again at two rabbits, boasting of their courage. He hardly noticed the length of the journey, and he was laughing again at the words of two dogs as he came near his own house.
Asher, you're home.
So that's what a dog thinks of man, eh? And we call him our best friend.
Asher!
Oh, Esther, I'm home.
Indeed, I see you are, husband. But what was so funny?
So funny?
I saw you laughing and chuckling as you came up the lane. You hardly noticed my first greeting. What were you laughing at?
Oh, it was something funny I saw down the road, my dear, that's all. Come now, a kiss for your husband, here. Then you shall see the fine goods I brought you from Jerusalem.
Oh, husband, you shouldn't have, but where are they?
So you won't mind looking at them, eh?
You know I won't. And I want to know all about the fashions at court, too, and how King Solomon fares, and... Oh, what gift did the king give you this year, Asher? Tell me.
What gift?
Yes, what? I know he always gives you something splendid.
But this year, I asked him to give me nothing this year.
Oh, so he didn't. Well, that's good. He's been overly generous in the past. But where are the goods now, Asher?
The first hurdle was met and out of the way, and without any need for a lie either. And now as the days passed by, Asher found life on the farm happier than he had ever known it, thanks to his new and secret power. For the first time, he really got acquainted with his old, familiar animals. Patient and hard-working was how Asher had always thought of his ox. Now he discovered the ox was a bit of a whiner, too, suffering a good deal from self-pity.
Oh, my back. Oh, that yoke.
Oh, come now, old fellow. It's not that heavy, I know.
Smart but stubborn, that's how he'd thought of his donkey. Now he discovered that the donkey's own opinion of his intelligence soared far beyond that.
Who's smart? I'm smart. Who runs this farm just how he wants it? Me. That's who.
Well, now, listen to that. He runs the farm, the donkey, eh?
Asher, you here?
Oh, yes, Esther, here by the stalls. So, he runs the farm.
Dinner's ready. What are you laughing at, Asher?
Laughing at?
Yes, what are you laughing at all alone here in the barn? What's so funny?
Why, I just thought of something.
Well, tell me so that I can laugh, too.
tell you. Well, it was nothing. It was nothing. Come. You said dinner was ready, didn't you? Well, come, let's go.
Do not give Esther even a hint of your secret, Solomon had said. If you tell anyone of your power, you die. And so quickly enough, Asher assumed a solemn face and talked of drought and plague till Esther too was sighing. But then, that evening, he went out to feed the animals, and he overheard another conversation between the ox and the donkey.
Oh, my life is hard, friend donkey. Very hard.
Well, whose fault, I ask? Why don't you play it smart, my friend?
Play it smart? How?
See me working every day of the week? Like you? No, you bet you don't. Did I work yesterday?
No, but you were sick.
Sick? The master thought I was sick. Know why?
No, why?
When he put out hay for me at night, I did not eat a bite. Next morning, there was the hay, untouched. He thought for sure I must be sick, and left me all day in the stall.
And you weren't sick at all?
Smart, that's all. Oh, smartest creature on this farm. But you could do the same, old friend.
Say, you think I could?
Why not? Try it tonight. When the master feeds you, don't eat a bite. Not one blade of hay. You'll spend the day tomorrow at ease.
Well, it looks like that donkey does have the laugh on me. I did think he was sick yesterday. Well, looks like I learned how to understand these creatures just in time. That donkey is smarter than I realized. Any smarter, and he would be running the farm.
But now, without giving any sign of his understanding, Asher put out hay and straw for both the donkey and the ox, patted them both, and returned chuckling to the house.
Asher, what is so funny?
What? I am sorry, my dear. I was just thinking of something.
Thinking of something.
Yes.
You seem to be thinking of something a lot lately. You've been smiling and chuckling ever since you came back from visiting King Solomon.
No, Esther, I think you're mistaken.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Well, from now on, you watch, Esther. You'll see I don't smile or laugh at all. Unless, of course, it's something that you're smiling and laughing at, too.
Now, at last, Asher saw where the danger lay. Not in any hints he might drop, but in his own amusement at what he heard the animals say. But have you ever tried not to laugh when something was amusing you? Late that night, Asher couldn't resist a quick trip to the barn to see if the ox was following the donkey's shrewd advice. Sure enough, there stood the ox, his eyes closed in sleep, while right under his nose lay a fine pile of hay just as Asher had left it. But now, even as Asher watched, the donkey stirred, gave a quick look at the ox, and then with a snickering hee-haw, he stretched out his long neck toward the ox's food.
Thank you, my friend. Another meal tastes fine tonight.
Why, that rascal, that thief. Was there ever such a scoundrel of a donkey? No wonder he grows fat and sleek, eating the poor ox's dinner as well as his own. All right, I'll fix him.
And I suppose you're going to tell me that you're not sitting there grinning like a cat.
Grinning? Me? Yes, I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I was thinking about, my dear. I was thinking I won't make the ox work tomorrow, and And the donkey will work. The donkey will work twice as hard as usual.
You're laughing again. Now why?
I don't know. It just seemed funny. Maybe I'm getting old. Yes, I'm old, my dear, and tired. I'd best go up to bed right now.
He must stop laughing. He had to. At any rate, when Esther was around. Fortunately, she wasn't in the barn next morning when the donkey found out that the ox was getting the day off and he himself was working.
Why should I work when it's plain? He's eaten well.
Oh, I didn't eat.
Look at your manger. It's empty.
Oh, I know, but I never ate that hay.
All right, come on now, friend donkey. To the fields with you.
Me? Not fair. Not fair.
At least not what you planned. Come on, now move along.
But Esther wasn't around to hear him laughing, so it was all right. All day Asher worked the donkey hard, in spite of his balkiness and rage. And that night, as he brought him back into the barn, Asher was sure the beast was too tired for any more tricks.
Oh, now, into your stall with you.
Oh, so, friend donkey, how was the day?
How was the day? Oh, fine. I did all your work and mine, too. And I heard some pleasant news, too.
Oh, tell me.
I heard the master talking to a neighbor. He said, if you didn't eat again tonight, he was going to slaughter you.
Slaughter me?
Yeah, that's right. You see now where your tricks get you?
I played no tricks, but now he'll slaughter me if I don't eat. Oh, I'll eat. Where's my food? Food!
Oh, it is too much. Nothing stops that donkey. I've got to teach him a lesson. But how? Oh, dear. That poor ox.
As he approached the house, Asher did his best to smooth the laughter from his face. When he sat down to the table, he was as grave as a judge. He wouldn't laugh. And then Esther asked him a question.
Asher, why in the world was the ox bellowing that way a little while ago?
The ox bellowing, my dear? Well, who knows why oxen bellow? Perhaps he was hungry. Perhaps.
Asher, what's funny?
Funny? It is nothing really. Nothing, Esther. I just happened
happened to think of something.
Yes, that's right, Esther.
Nothing you'd want to tell me, though.
No, I guess not, Esther.
I see. All right, then. I've got something to tell you now. Maybe you'll find this a big joke, too. But unless you tell me right now, this minute, what it is you find so funny all the time, I'm walking out of this house for good.
But Esther, I can't tell you.
Goodbye, then, Esther.
No, wait, Esther, please. My dear, you know I love you. You know my life's worth nothing without you.
Really? But to have me stay isn't worth telling me your joke?
Esther, please, you don't know. If I do...
Yes?
But isn't it just as bad if I don't? Yes, I'm caught either way. Might I not just as well? All right, Esther, I'll tell you what you want to know.
Well?
But if you please, Esther, will you give me just 1 hour first? 1 hour, my dear, and then I will tell you all. One hour to say goodbye to all I love. Spot, you want to come along? Come then, old friend, walk beside me out here in the darkness.
Don't be sad, Master.
No, don't be sad. King Solomon warned me, nothing on earth is stronger than a woman's curiosity. So it's goodbye to my fig tree, my olive. Goodbye to the rocks I carried with such pain from the field to the wall. Goodbye to the baby chicks and the hens. Goodbye, old rooster, too.
All right, wives, away from that grain. I want to eat.
Quiet, you! Have you no feeling at all, Rooster?
Feeling for what? Why?
For our master, fool! Our master must die in an hour.
Die? Why?
He has a secret, and the mistress demands that he tell it to her. If he does, he will die.
Well, so why does he tell?
If she doesn't, she will leave him, and that he cannot bear. Have a little pity and respect, I pray you.
Pity and respect for a fool like that. Well, let me at that grain.
How dare you call our master a fool?
Because he is. Look at me. 2 dozen wives and they all scatter when I speak. He has one wife and he cannot manage her. Fool! He deserves to die.
Not so! Not so!
Quiet, Spot, quiet. But isn't the rooster right? Am I not a fool if I forfeit my life so easily? So, I'll go tell Esther now that I'm the master, not she. Esther, there you are. Listen to me now.
So, Asher, you've come to tell me what you laughed at.
No, I have come to admit to you frankly that I have a secret.
Oh.
A secret I cannot tell or I die. Do you want me to die, my wife?
To die?
As a man of some sense and reason, I refuse to ask for that fate. Will you leave me then because I do not tell you my secret? When it's life or death if I speak? Or do you love me enough to wish me my life? Or is your curiosity stronger than all?
You speak, you die. Oh, husband, I love you. I want you alive. You may have what secret you wish. How could you think that I'd want you to die? Keep your secret, Asher. Keep it forever and stay alive and love me.
Good my Lord King Solomon, I write you today in all humility to tell you you were wrong. There is something stronger than a woman's curiosity. If a man be but strong enough, say as strong as a rooster, his will is stronger than her desire. It is true, O king, for 10 months have passed, and even when I laugh aloud, and Esther guesses not the reason why, she only looks at me and sighs and smiles, not asking to know more.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's program, written by Seymour Wright, is entitled A Banquet for the General, and is based on an idea in Wisdom of the Talmud by Dr. Ben Sion Boxer, published by the Philosophical Library.
Antigonus will attack frontally. Seleucus will cross the river at this point and fall upon their flank. Demetrius.
Sir?
Station your troops here near the embankment to serve as reinforcements. I want you to be located centrally so I can deploy your men wherever the battle requires. We will attack.
And it came to pass in an ancient land, there rose a mighty general, and the legions he commanded were strong and many numbered. He led them to conquest in distant places, to Persia, to Asia, to India. And the stories and legends woven into his brief moment of history were as numerous as the campfires of his victorious armies.
Alexander of Macedon, yes, I knew him well, my friend. As well as I know my own sword arm. And many is the story, I can tell you. Why, I marched with Alexander from the very beginning, and I remember it all. The uprisings in Thrace and Illyria, the sack of Thebes. There was an ugly business. Alexander spared nothing but the temples and the house of the poet Pindar. Afterwards, we crossed the Hellespont and marched against Persia. We met them at the river Granicus, and to this day, I swear, it still flows with Persian blood. Next, we took Sardis, Miletus, Halicarnassus, then the cities of Syria. After that, Mesopotamia, Babylon, Afghanistan. I tell you, there was no army anywhere that could stand against Alexander. He was called by many Alexander the Great, and in Egypt he was hailed as a divinity, the living son of the god, Amun-Ra. What sort of man was he? 10 men, my friend. 20, 100. In battle a genius, skillful, daring, invincible. At times, a man of anger, given to fits of violent temper. Why, I recall a night, after much feasting and revelry, when Alexander, in a fit of rage, drew his sword and slew his own dearest comrade. And withal, a man of philosophy. Now, don't smile. In Alexander's youth, the great and learned Aristotle served as his teacher, and all his life, he was much given to argument and disputation. In fact, now that we speak of it, I even recall a time when Alexander was defeated. Not on the field of battle, no, never there. This was a special kind of combat, a battle of ideas, a contest in which Alexander of Macedon, the greatest general in the world, was vanquished by an old man with a white beard. It was during the Persian campaigns. At the time, we were journeying in the land of Judea, surveying our newly won territories, and we came to a city called Jerusalem.
Katya!
What is it, Elisha?
An army approaching the city. Thousands of soldiers with horses, chariots.
So we're to be honored with a visit from the great Alexander of Macedon.
Katya, it is said that he is a fierce and vengeful man. What shall we do?
Whatever must be done, Elisha. Come, be at peace. Let us put our trust in the Lord.
When we reached the gates of the city, Alexander and a group of his officers, including myself, were escorted to a building near a great temple. We went inside and came to a large chamber with a sort of dais at one end.
An old man was seated there, and as we entered, he rose to greet us.
Shalom, my friends.
In whose name do you speak, old man?
I speak for my people. I am Katya, Patriarch of Judea.
And I am Alexander, King of Macedon, Emperor of Persia, Conqueror of Syria, Commander of the most powerful armies on the face of the earth.
I welcome you to our city.
You show no fear of me.
Is Alexander of Macedon good or evil?
My good, of course.
Would you have me fear that which is good?
You're something of a philosopher, Patriarch. I think I may enjoy my visit.
I hope it will not prove unpleasant.
Tell me, Patriarch, those two coarse-looking men there near the door, what are they doing here?
They're farmers, General. They came here with a private dispute, question of law, which they want me to settle. All our citizens are welcome to do this.
A question of law? Well, go ahead.
No? But surely you don't expect...
Go ahead, Patriarch. I've heard a great deal about your Hebrew theories of law. I'd like to see how they really work.
Very well.
Abram. Yaakov.
A chair was brought. Alexander sat down next to the old man, and the two farmers came forward to argue their case.
Patriarch, all I demand is justice.
You speak of justice? If you took the time to study the Mishnah, you'd learn what justice is.
My dear Yaakov, I know more about the Mishnah than you could learn if you lived to be 100 years old. 100.
My dear Avram, you're a fool.
How dare you speak to me like that?
Your opinion is worthless.
I didn't come here to be insulted.
Gentlemen, please. Each in his turn. Now then, Avram.
Patriarch, as you know, some time ago I bought a field from Yaakov. A fine tract of land, good black earth, rich and fruitful, near the west gate, past the old road. I paid 20 denarii for it. A fair price. At least you agree with that, Yaakov.
Yes, the price was fair.
Go on, Avram.
Well, the other day, while I was plowing, my blade hit something in the ground, something hard. At first I thought it was, a rock or a piece of wood. But when I bent down and scraped away the earth, this is what I found. A leather bag filled with gold coins. A fortune.
Patriarch, it's a simple matter. Avram found the treasure, I grant.
Yaakov, please permit him to finish.
Thank you, Patriarch. As I was saying, I found this bag of gold while plowing my field. I admit the field was purchased from Yaakov for a fair price, but the price I paid did not include any treasure that might be found in it. Therefore, I claim that the gold is not rightfully or lawfully mine.
Avram, from a legal point of view, your position is ridiculous. When I sold you the field, I sold everything it might contain. The Mishnah states quite clearly, if a man sells a ship, he has sold also the mast, the sail, the anchor, and all means of steering it.
The Mishnah also says, if a man sells the mules, he has not sold the wagon. If he sells the yoke, he has not sold the oxen.
My dear Avram, how can you be so stubborn? According to law, the gold is yours.
My dear Yaakov, your interpretation is all wrong. Now, according to my understanding...
Gentlemen, please, may I say something?
Of course, Patriarch. Our knowledge is limited. That's why we're here. Maybe you can convince him.
Avram, if I understand correctly, you found the gold coins in your field, but you think they should go to Yaakov?
Exactly. I paid for land, not treasure.
And you, Yaakov, you feel the gold belongs to Avram?
Yes, Patriarch. Admittedly, you know much more of these things than either Avram or myself. But if I recall correctly, the section of law dealing with the transfer of property states...
Since when are you an authority? You farmer!
You're just angry because I'm winning my case.
I deny that.
Oh, it's a matter of law.
Let the Patriarch decide. Don't shout.
Gentlemen, please. This isn't a simple decision. You know, laws are like people. When you begin to probe beneath the surface, they get more and more complicated. There's much to be said on both sides, but Avram, I believe you have a comely daughter of marriageable age?
Yes, Patriarch.
And you, Yaakov? You have a grown son?
Mm-hmm. A fine boy and a good farmer.
Very well, then. Here is my decision. Let the two be pledged in marriage, and this bag of gold coins will be given to them as their dowry.
Their dowry? A brilliant solution.
Worthy of the prophets.
Come, Yaakov. We have a great deal to do.
Oh, yes, Avram. Thank you, Patriarch.
Thank you. What a wonderful decision.
Let us go home and tell our wives.
Why do you laugh, General?
Because this is the strangest trial I have ever seen.
Did I do wrong? Would you have judged it differently?
Much differently. I would have kept the treasure for myself and thrown both of those rascals into the street.
Would that have satisfied your sense of justice?
No. My sense of gain. Tell me, Patriarch, don't your people value gold at all?
Yes, but they treasure the law even more. The law is our strength. The Torah, the Talmud, these are the mortar that binds us together.
Your people are naive, Patriarch. Gold is the mortar that binds people together. Their hunger for it is the loom on which the very fabric of society is woven. Nothing else matters.
You really believe this?
Of course I do. It's a simple question of one's sense of values.
One's sense of values, yes.
Patriarch, I hear that you Jews consider yourselves the chosen people of God. Is this true?
Chosen for a mission, Alexander. To bring the word of the Lord to all people.
Be that as it may, if this is true, if you're really the chosen ones of this almighty God, why is it that your people have been crushed and persecuted by their enemies, generation after generation?
Do you call your sword persecuted because it was fired in the blacksmith's furnace and hammered into form on his anvil?
A most interesting rationalization. Tell me, Katya, I'm really quite curious about some of your Hebraic concepts and rituals. Perhaps you can explain something of their origin and history. I'd like to understand the basics.
Well, that's how it started. Alexander was impressed with the old man and obviously interested in his ideas. Our troops were ordered to encamp directly outside the gates and given the free movement of the city of Jerusalem, while Alexander and this patriarch spent all their time arguing and discoursing of learned things. Me, I'm just a plain soldier. Discussions of that nature bore me. I had a feeling besides that it would come to a bad end, and 2 days later, I proved to be right.
Take your hands off me! Let me go, I say!
What's the meaning of this? Who is this soldier?
We arrested him in the marketplace, Patriarch.
You'll pay for this insult.
He tried to steal a copper jug from old Tzedek, and when Tzedek protested, he started to beat him.
I am a soldier in the army of Alexander of Macedon. I don't have to answer to any of you.
Patriarch, if we hadn't arrived in time, Tzedek would have been killed.
This is serious. We must speak with Tzedek and learn exactly what happened. Meanwhile, take him away. Lock him up.
Let go of me. Let go, you hear? Let go.
At the time, Alexander was sojourning in his tent. When he learned what happened, his face grew livid with rage, his eyes flinty with anger. It was the old Alexander again, the Alexander of battle. He sent for the patriarch and had him brought immediately to the camp.
Do you mean by seizing one of my soldiers?
General, according to the evidence, he tried to steal a copper jug. And then he started to beat a helpless old man. We merely stopped him from breaking our law.
Law? You sound like those stupid farmers of yours. Alexander of Macedon is the law here. My word is the only word. I am your law. Do you understand? Well, answer me. Answer me!
It is written in our scriptures, I dwell in the high and holy place, with him also that is of a contrite and humble spirit. But he that is proud and arrogant renders the land unclean, and causes the withdrawal of God's presence. Again, as it is written, he that is proud in heart is an abomination to the Lord.
You think me proud and arrogant? And what of your arrogance arresting a soldier of my army?
My dear Alexander, I intended to discuss this with you as soon as possible. We merely wanted to be sure...
Let me remind you that I am your king, the conqueror of your conquerors. Yes, it was pleasurable to discourse with you of philosophic matters, but you begin to try my patience.
This matter of the soldier, it can be easily settled, Alexander.
Patriarch, I have been far too lenient with you. In other cities, when I appear, I am greeted with pomp, panoply, great feasts, the kind of deference due my position. But here I meet insults.
General, I assure you
Hear me, Patriarch. I have my duties, administrative matters to attend to in my new territories, and I must journey on. But within 10 days, I will return to Jerusalem. At that time, I expect your people to welcome me with all the honors befitting my rank. Honors for a new ruler. Yes, I think it may teach you a new set of values, Katya. We can begin with a great banquet. I'm quite fond of banquets, you know. Very lavish and opulent ones. You're to spare no efforts, do you understand? I will have the acclaim due me. If you fail to meet my expectations, it will go hard with you and your people, Patriarch. Very hard.
Katya, what are we going to do?
I don't know, Elisha. I don't know.
Well, how can we prepare the kind of feast he expects? We're not accustomed to such things. What if he is dissatisfied?
This banquet of his, it's just a symbol.
But, Patriarch, do you remember what happened to Thebes and Gaza? Why, if we offend him, with a mere wave of his hand, Alexander can reduce all of Jerusalem to ashes.
Yes. He's a man of violence and destruction, but also a man of thought. And this is our key.
I don't understand.
I cannot oppose him with force, and knowing the temper of the man, we cannot afford to displease him on his return. But if we could appeal to his imagination...
My dear Katya, this is no time for philosophy.
Elisha, go forth into the city. Explain this problem to our people. Collect all the gold you can find, coins, goblets, everything.
Collect the gold?
But then summon Naphtali, the goldsmith, to meet with me here tomorrow. With God's help, we may yet beard this lion.
Patriarch, I know you're a learned man, a man of great wisdom, but why do you want...
Hurry, Elisha. We only have 10 days, and there's a city to be saved.
Katya is collecting all the gold. I don't understand.
Neither do I, but my wife gave her wedding ring.
They say that Alexander is very angry, that he will order Jerusalem destroyed. Why would Katya call for Naphtali the goldsmith? It doesn't make sense.
If that's what the Patriarch wants, it doesn't have to make sense.
The days pass, busy days too, my friend, and on the 10th, Alexander and our legions returned to Jerusalem. We were met and escorted to the Patriarch's chamber. Alexander's mood hadn't changed. His brow was still black, and his eyes flashed with anger. When we entered the chamber, we found a great table prepared for our banquet.
Patriarch! I trust you've arranged a feast to tempt the palate of an emperor?
We've prepared a feast which I believe is superior to any you have ever tasted before.
Well, good. That's as it should be. Demetrius, Seleucus, Come, let's be seated.
We made ourselves comfortable at the long table, and at a signal from the old man, servants entered, bearing great covered trays. These were placed in front of Alexander. Then, at the patriarch's command, the covers were lifted. I looked at the trays and could scarce believe my eyes. They were piled high with delicacies, all fashioned of solid gold.
Patriarch! Is this some kind of monstrous joke?
Certainly not, Alexander.
Golden fish, poultry, pheasants. You expect me to eat these things?
General, it was my understanding that you valued gold more than anything else in life. I thought surely you must eat it, too. Else why would you prize it so highly?
Gotcha. What absurdity is this? You know quite
Can
well...
it be that Alexander of Macedon, the mighty conqueror, is dependent, just as other mortals, on the seeds of the soil and the small animals of the field? What a disappointment. We were sure that the great king of Macedon would let nothing cross his imperial palate but the purest of golden food. I cannot believe otherwise.
Alexander leaped to his feet, his face contorted with rage. He flashed the hilt of his sword, and I thought surely that the old man's life was forfeit. But then a strange thing happened. Alexander began to laugh. While the rest of us looked on in amazement, he walked over to the old man and threw his arms around him.
Congratulations, Patriarch. This is truly the most elaborate banquet I've ever been served. You've done nobly.
My dear Alexander, to be frank, I was hoping that the philosopher in you would outweigh the general.
Gotcha. I am duly chastised.
From then on, my friend, you may not believe it, but Alexander became a close friend of the people of Judea, their defender and champion. And when he built the great city of Alexandria, he invited them to settle there, to live in freedom and equality, all who chose to do so. Of course, I'm just a soldier. Blood and death are my calling. I don't understand these things, but sometimes I wonder. That old man with the white beard, the two farmers, the strange banquet of gold. I don't know. Do you suppose, my friend, that Alexander of Macedon, who is believed by many to be immortal, do you suppose that somehow he sensed in this nation and these people a true immortality?
And it came to pass in an ancient land, there rose a mighty general, and the stories and legends woven into his brief moment of history were as numerous as the campfires of his victorious armies. But the strangest tale of all concerned a battle in which Alexander of Macedon was vanquished by an old man with a white beard.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting Mr. Manuel G. Sidney of New York City, a prominent civic and community leader and president of the Metropolitan Council of the United Synagogue of America. Mr. Sidney.
It is very easy to say that the significance of today's script lies in its dramatization of the fact that the most important things in life are those which we take for granted, the things which are available to everybody, like health and the joys of friendship. But it becomes necessary in the course of our lives to pause and recognize that in our daily strivings for the things which are much less important, too many of us often deny ourselves the genuine blessings of life. In fact, he who possesses the true art of living is a person who knows how to realize and take advantage of the experiences in life which help to enrich the individual and society culturally, socially, and spiritually. Perhaps one of the difficulties which confronts us as Americans in particular is that we take our freedom for granted and overlook the opportunities which it affords. For the liberty which we Americans possess is a unique blessing which too many of us accept in the same light as the air we breathe. But an endowment like freedom, just as health or friendship, to have any significance, carries with it some kind of responsibility. To maintain our health, we must take proper care of our bodies. To keep our friendships, we must be considerate and understanding. And to uphold and extend our freedom, we must participate actively in the affairs of government to the best of our ability. For if, in pursuing our material goals, we lose sight of those more intangible and yet infinitely more precious ones, they may be irretrievably lost. In a sense, we Americans have many more opportunities for knowledge and much more power than even the great Alexander. But what Alexander had to learn from the patriarch, we must also learn. However, the means to such knowledge exist in much greater measure now than they did in his time. If we have the wisdom to seek and understand what great potentialities exist to be developed, we can be as a nation of individual kings, enjoying the full blessings which this great nation offers and which we can enjoy for rich and happy lives.
Thank you, Mr. Sidney. Our Eternal Light drama today, A Banquet for the General, was written by Seymour Wright and was based on an idea in Wisdom of the Talmud by Dr. Ben Sion Boxer, published by the Philosophical Library. Cantor David Putterman sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Leon Jenney, Roger de Koven, Louis Soren, Santos Ortega, Saul Serlin, Guy Rep, Alan Bergman, Robert Hastings, Walter Black, and Norman Rose. This is Mel Brandt. Our director was Daniel Sutton. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.
Spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation. And it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Today's program, One Man, was written by Joseph Mindell and is based on the true story of Raoul Wallenberg.
In the beginning, only one man was created. By this we may know that if one destroys a single person, it is as if he had destroyed the world. And if he saves a single person, then he has saved the whole world. I will tell you of 20,000 worlds saved, and of one destroyed. And then we must make an accounting. I knew of Raoul Wallenberg long before I saw him. There were things that was important for us to know. Those of us who remained of 800,000 Jews in Hungary. In the last months of 1945, when the Nazis saw the Third Reich collapsing, they organized deportations from Budapest from every city in Hungary to feed the death camps of Poland. This we knew. And we also knew of Raoul Wallenberg, attaché of the Swedish legation in Budapest.
Next. Who is next?
I am, Your Excellency. Koldar, Abraham Koldar.
A little louder, please. There's so much noise. You have it down, Gustav?
Yes, sir.
You have business connections in Sweden, Mr. Koldar?
Well, no.
You own property in Sweden, then?
If you please, Your Excellency, no.
But you have friends or relatives there?
A cousin, a second cousin, that is to say.
Good. If you were to do business there, he would undoubtedly handle it for you.
Do business?
Fine. Give your cousin's name and address to the clerk.
Excuse me, I have to tell you, my cousin is not a Swedish citizen.
My dear man, did I ask you if he was?
No, but I thought...
You make it difficult, Koldar. The German military governor of Budapest honors a Swedish passport. You know that?
Yes, sir.
I am authorized to issue such a passport to any person who has a connection, business or otherwise, with Sweden. Do you understand?
I think so.
Good. Then simply answer the questions I ask, not the ones I don't ask. Gustav, have you made up the passport? Fine. Here you are, Mr. Koldar. You are now under the protection of the Swedish government. Next. That's all for today, everybody. Oh, excuse me. It's been a long day for all of us. Good night.
Good night.
Yeah. Oh, what are you doing here?
I didn't want to interrupt. You were so busy.
Oh, you are, Koldar, aren't you?
Yes.
You have your passport. What are you waiting for?
I was thinking, how many people can you interview in one day?
Don't waste time. Get your family out of Hungary as quickly as you can.
I no longer have a family.
Oh. Well, I'm a fool, Koldar. Your passport, I should have realized.
For myself, it doesn't make much difference if I go or if I stay.
What are you saying? Do you want to work in my organization? Koldar, it will be dangerous.
I'm not sure that I believe in safety anymore, Mr. Wallenberg.
You don't understand. Who knows how long the Nazis will recognize these passports?
Who knows? A person could also ask how long they will respect your Swedish citizenship.
Oh, they don't dare touch me.
Not officially, no. But the automobile that almost hit you last week.
How do you know about that?
We hear things. If we remain alive, we hear.
It was an accident.
Was it? And the week before, when a piece of chimney fell...
Now, never mind. My situation is, after all, not like yours. I am not Hungarian, and I am... Well, that is, I am...
Yes, I know. A Swedish citizen and not a Jew. And yet here you are. A man might almost ask...
Listen, Koldar. I'll make a bargain with you. If you'll stop asking questions, so will I. Agreed?
Agreed.
Then it's settled. Koldar, you have just become an employee of the Swedish legation. Koldar, how many passports did we issue this week?
300.
3,248 Jews were deported from Budapest alone. 300 against 3,000.
Maybe the office can be kept open a few hours longer every day?
All night, if that would help. But the point is, I can issue the passport only to a person who has some connection with Sweden.
Well, the point can be stretched.
There's a limit. Koldar, I have made an invention. Here. Tell me what you think of it.
Very impressive document. Notice is hereby given that the bearer is under the protection of the government of Sweden. It's like a passport.
A special kind. A protective passport, you might call it.
And the qualifications for owning one of these?
Very elastic, my friend, with no limits. Huh? What do you think, Koldar?
Mr. Wallenberg, the question is not what I think, but what the Nazis will do.
Herr Wallenberg, the German military government has made every effort to maintain proper relations with your office.
My dear Major, do you expect thanks for respecting the rights of neutrals under international law?
We have even honored these highly irregular protective passports. Is it not so?
I'm very busy, Major. You came for some purpose?
Yes, I came for a purpose. Just look at those.
How did you get these passports?
They were confiscated from Jews who held them illegally.
They must be returned at once.
They are obvious forgeries.
They are authentic, Major.
Blind men can see they are counterfeit. Look at this one. The ink is the wrong color.
It's wartime. We use what we can get, and the quality is neither good nor uniform.
And this one? The name of your king is misspelled.
Unfortunately, we must sometimes rely on Hungarian printers.
You know as well as I that these are forgeries.
They are genuine.
You take me for a fool?
No, you are not a fool. That is why you will return the passports to the people from whom you took them.
You go too far, Herr Wallenberg.
I only wish to remind you, Major, that the war will soon be over.
Now you make threats?
I'm stating the facts. When the war is over, every individual will be called to account for his actions.
Good day, Herr Wallenberg.
You forgot to take the passports, Major.
I will give you some advice. Be careful, Herr Wallenberg. Be very careful.
They should take more pains, whoever printed these passports.
They don't have to, do they?
We do what we can to help. Now listen, Koldar. There's a rush job for the whole staff. A convoy is being assembled at the deportation center. We have to make out passports for every name on this list. What's the matter, Koldar?
Mr. Wallenberg, this is a copy of the official Gestapo list.
An authentic one.
You have people at Gestapo headquarters? Hungarians who risk their lives?
Yes, and 2 Germans also. You are surprised, Koldar?
They are not Jews. Why should... I hope that you will forgive me, Mr. Wallenberg. It is a strange kind of arrogance, isn't it? The arrogance of the victim.
They are ordinary people, those on my staff. If you were to ask them why they do what they do, what could they say? It is not only a Nazi who must account, if only to himself, for what he does or what he fails to do. Well, there is a lot of work, Koldar. The convoy leaves early in the morning. Good morning, Major.
You will excuse me, Herr Wallenberg. I have no time. The convoy leaves in a moment.
Not yet. You are detaining illegally a number of individuals
Nonsense. They are Jews without papers.
You are mistaken, Major. The passports were delayed, but I have them here with me now.
How could... Never mind, I can guess.
You will please be good enough to have them distributed to their proper owners.
Get out!
I remind you that these people are under the protection of the Swedish government.
Take your Jews and get out.
For myself, I can perhaps understand the violence of your language. But as a representative of His Majesty's government, I demand an apology. I am waiting, Major.
I'll give them necessary orders.
Thank you, Major. I accept your apology.
One word more, Herr Wallenberg. A wise man knows when to stop.
It is not the kind of wisdom that appeals to me.
No? Then you are the kind of man to whom an accident is likely to happen. A fatal accident.
It is thoughtful of you to warn me. Auf Wiedersehen, Major. Until the next time.
There is the wisdom of safety and the wisdom of audacity, and a time for each. Every week, there were hundreds of passports, hundreds of lives. In 6 months, 20,000 of the Jews of Hungary were saved from the death camps. When Raoul Wallenberg's work was ended, it was not by an accident, nor because the need was over, but in another way. In January 1945, when Soviet armies surrounded Budapest, the remaining Jews of Hungary were threatened with mass murder by the Hungarian Nazis. Wallenberg went through the lines to ask the help of the Russians in saving those trapped in the ghetto. In the confusion of the changeover from German to Russian rule, the work of his office continued.
Well, too busy to say hello?
Huh? Mr. Wallenberg, we've been looking for you for 3 days.
I'm back, Koldar. For a little while.
Mr. Wallenberg, there's a squad of Russian soldiers in the courtyard.
Yes, I brought them back with me. Or maybe they brought me.
They have no right to be here in a neutral legation.
Don't get so excited, Koldar. They're in the street. Now, I came for some papers. The plans for immigration, the list
Don't
of
do
every...
it, Mr. Wallenberg. Don't go back.
What's the matter with you?
They can't make you go.
Of course not. I'm going because I want to. Because I have to.
Stay here. You'll be safe in the legation.
The Swedish passport has made you soft, Koldar. Have you come to believe in safety, after all? There is still work to be done. I'm going to see Marshal Malinowski. And, Koldar, I'm not sure whether I'm going as a guest or as a prisoner.
On a day when the cold sun of eastern winter shone on Russian rifle barrels, Raoul Wallenberg left the Swedish legation in Budapest and entered a deep and dark stillness. A 12-year silence, unbroken, except for a few faint voices.
January 20 or 21, 1945, for 3 years, while I was imprisoned in cell number 151 of the Lefortovskaya prison in Moscow, I communicated by rapping on the stone wall between us with the occupant of cell number 152, who was a Swedish diplomat by name Raoul Wallenberg.
In 1953, I was in a prison camp in Teshad in Central Asia, where I talked with a Swedish Red Cross officer whose name was Raoul Wilborg, or Wallenberg. He was very thin and sick, and was kept isolated from the other prisoners.
The Swedish government takes very seriously the continued reports that Wallenberg may be alive as a prisoner in the Soviet Union. We have tried to explore every trail in the Wallenberg affair, and we shall pursue every possible new one.
The Soviet Foreign Ministry has made a careful investigation which proves conclusively that Raoul Wallenberg is not in the Soviet Union and that he is unknown to us.
The Swedish government finds it incomprehensible that the Soviet Union has not seen fit to report the results of the most recent inquiries.
Raoul Wallenberg is unknown to us.
I knew Raoul Wallenberg, and 20,000 knew him as I did. And I must know, the world and I must know the end. From this point, I cannot tell you the story as seen by witnesses and attested by affidavits. For in the dark there is none to see, and in the silence none to speak. Yet where the shadow lies, we may know without seeing. And who will say that it is less the truth? January 17th, 1945.
I don't want to seem impatient, Colonel, but I do...
Our little talk is boring you, Mr. Wallenberg?
No, not at all. But I was to see Marshal Malinowski.
In good time. I have not forgotten.
I'm interested in knowing... You are of the Wallenberg banking family, are you not?
I am not a banker. I am in the, export business.
What I meant to say, you are a wealthy man.
Is it necessary to be of the proletariat in order to speak with the marshal?
Very good, very good. Now, you studied architecture at the university in the United States, and then you traveled for a while, did you not? Afterward, you worked in a bank in Haifa.
I preferred business to architecture. But I don't
Why
see...
in Palestine?
Because that's where I was offered a position.
I see. And of course, you made contacts there.
Contacts?
Never mind. I'm not clear about your rank in the Swedish Navy.
Look here, Colonel, what's the point of all this?
My dear Mr. Wallenberg, we are simply having a friendly conversation while we wait.
Do you have a life history of everyone with whom you engage in friendly conversation?
Life history? That is really good. Your rank in the Navy.
Surely somewhere among those papers you find that I was not in the Navy.
That's what it says. Yet the naval career is traditional in your family.
Enough of this, Colonel. I insist that you take me to Marshal Malinowski at once.
Sit down. You must excuse me, Mr. Wallenberg. We are all overworked these days. Now, according to my information, you were disqualified from the Navy because of colorblindness. Is that true?
Don't you trust your own information?
You won't know what to trust. You see, for certain kinds of special work in the Navy, colorblindness is no handicap.
I don't know what you're talking about. Now, listen to me, Colonel. The lives of many people depend on my interview with the Marshal. I must see him as soon as possible.
I am afraid it is too late today. Maybe tomorrow.
Colonel, the guard refused to allow me out of the house last night.
Believe me, Mr. Wallenberg, it is for your own protection. The streets of Budapest are not safe at night.
I must inform my embassy.
It has been taken care of. Let us continue our little talk.
Colonel, you know I came here under no compulsion.
That might have been very clever of you.
And you also know why I came.
Ah?
If I cannot see the Marshal until I have answered your questions, then I will answer them. Only let it be quickly.
Oh, you are being sensible, Mr. Wallenberg. Let us begin with why you were sent to Budapest.
I was not sent. I volunteered. I knew, the whole world knew, of the horror of the Warsaw Ghetto, of Lodz and Krakow.
Terrible atrocities, terrible.
If the Jews of Hungary could be saved, if a single person could be saved, I was willing to go to Budapest. It's as simple as that.
Simple things have a way of being complicated. For example, I look at you, Christian gentleman of an aristocratic family, rich, intelligent, talented. I wonder, what are the Jews of Hungary to you?
They needed help, don't you see?
I see that your mission to Budapest might be a cover for another kind of activity. You do not say anything, Mr. Wallenberg.
I have told you. I don't know how to say it any other way.
You might start at the beginning again. Why were you sent to Budapest? Only this time, the truth.
The Germans are defeated, Colonel, but right now the Hungarian Nazis may be finishing their work in the ghetto. In the name of humanity, let me see Marshal Malinowski.
That will be impossible. We still have much to discuss.
Then let me go back to my office and do what I can by myself.
You're very simple, Wallenberg. You're very clever. We shall see. It will all come out when we continue our talk in Moscow.
My cell number, 152. Who are you?
I am Raoul Wallenberg. Who are you? Who are you?
Out! Come on, move, prisoner 152. The colonel wants to see you.
Wallenberg, why were you sent to Budapest?
You know why.
Yes, I know, and I will tell you. Your neutral status, your rescue work were a cover for other activities. Working your way into the Hungarian communist apparatus. Through that into the Soviet Union.
That's not true.
It is useless to deny it. I now have evidence that your activities in Budapest were financed by American intelligence.
No. By the United States War Refugee Board.
It is the same thing. Be reasonable, Wallenberg. You are in no danger to us. We don't want you. But your contacts in Hungary, the Soviet Union.
You really believe what you're saying?
I even know who they are. I merely want your confirmation. Here. The statement is written out. You have only to sign. The trial will be only formality. The sentence a short one. The period you have already been confined will be deducted. You won't sign? We'll begin again. Wallenberg, why did you go to Budapest?
People were suffering and I was in a position to help. I told you again and again. Why won't you believe me?
You expect me to believe that you are moved entirely by pity? By a noble compassion?
Why is it so difficult to believe? In Russia, do you walk by minding your own business when you see a drowning man?
Yes, stubborn Wallenberg.
Guard!
But I'm patient. I can wait.
Colonel?
Take him back to your cell. Bring him tomorrow at the same time.
It's no use, Colonel.
No? We shall see.
You will never be able to understand. You ask why a man in my position should do what I say I've done.
Perhaps you will explain it to me.
No, because it is the wrong question. You must ask, how could a man in my position refuse to do it? But you cannot understand. Those who always live in the dark do not understand the sun.
In February 1957, the Swedish government received a final communication from the Soviet Foreign Ministry.
Documents recently come to light reveal that Raoul Wallenberg died 10 years ago in Lubyanka prison, probably of a heart attack. The circumstances are most regrettable.
Hear the words of the 69th Psalm.
I looked for some to show compassion, but there was none, and for comforters, but I found none.
Say the words, not for Raoul Wallenberg, but for us to whom he gave comfort. He was a man whose heart God had touched, and he spoke out of the great dark silence, a reminder that if one man is saved, the world is not lost.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting Mrs. Bernard Alexander of Trenton, New Jersey, National Chairman of the Matilda Schechter Dormitory for Women of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, a project of the National Women's League. Mrs. Alexander.
The story just presented points up an eternal verity that the actions of one man can strongly influence the lives of thousands of men. Had Raoul Wallenberg asked of himself, "Am I my brother's keeper?" and satisfied himself with a negative reply, thousands of precious lives might have been snuffed out. In the mad rush of modern living, all too frequently we find that individuals are so selfishly preoccupied with their own well-being that they devote little or no time to the welfare of those who need assistance. In some measure, we all are part of the mosaic that spells out suffering for too many people the world over. When their security is at stake, our safety is endangered as well. I come in contact with many women throughout the United States and Canada who are vitally concerned about the kind of world of which their children are to be a part. The hopeful note in the overall picture is the fact that the mother in the home, aided by the father, has it within her power to mold a tiny human being into a righteous man or woman. She is the moral mainstay of the family unit. The women who make up the fiber of the National Women's League are joined together in an effort to contribute to a world of peace, contentment, and general well-being. This can be accomplished in a measure by reiterating constantly the formula that makes for the success of such a program: a happy home in which is stressed moral values, religious training, education, and love, as well as a constant effort to be of service to one's fellow man through the sharing of earthly goods and moral support. When peoples throughout the world have grown to the stature where not creed, nor color, nor country of origin will be the yardstick by which are measured interest and ability to help the less fortunate, these lifelong barriers will have been dispelled, and mutual understanding will prevail for the good of all mankind.
Thank you, Mrs. Alexander. Our Eternal Light drama today, One Man, was written by Joseph Mendel and was based on the true story of Raoul Wallenberg. Cantor David Putterman sang the liturgical introduction. In the cast were Santos Ortega, Roger de Koven, Bert Cowlin, Louis Van Ruten, and Theo Getz. Leon Janney was Wallenberg. Mandel Kramer played Koldar. This is Mel Brandt. Our director was Daniel Sutter.
And the Lord spake unto Moses, saying, Command the children of Israel that they bring unto thee pure oil olive beaten for the light, to cause the lamps to burn continually in the tabernacle of the congregation, and it shall be a statute forever in your generations.
The Eternal Light. The National Broadcasting Company and its affiliated independent stations present The Eternal Light, a program which comes to you under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. Our program today, Gideon Goes to War, was written by Stephen Geddes and is based on the book of the same name by Leonard Mosley, published by Charles Scribner's Sons. It is presented in observance of the 9th anniversary of Israel Independence Day.
From Mount Tabor, it is possible even for an unbeliever to look out and be moved by spiritual and religious emotion. For all around, the land of the Bible, and it is a shining land. And the atmosphere, redolent with history and legend, is thick in your nostrils as you look at it, and it is impossible not to find it beguiling and disturbing. For Ord Wingate, it was a dream of childhood come true. Ord Wingate, seeing the landscape of his Bible coming to life, was a convinced Zionist for the rest of his existence. And from the moment of his revelation, he made no secret of the fact that he would help the Jews to win their independent state, even if it meant fighting other enemies of Zion, besides the Arabs.
Gentlemen, I've joined your staff of headquarters, British forces, here in Jerusalem as intelligence officer. I've been here several days. Now, what am I supposed to do?
Do?
Yes, sir.
There's very little to do here, Captain Wingate, but it's not what you'd call an unpleasant sort of life. We still try to observe the various social amenities of our mother country. When possible, the wives of our officers take tea together. There are dances.
Well, I'm afraid that hardly falls under the duties of intelligence, Colonel.
Huh?
He's been here too short a time, sir. When the captain has been indoctrinated for 2 or 3 months and sees the impossibility of the situation, I'm sure he'll be perfectly willing to join the throng of ladies at afternoon tea.
May I ask a question?
Certainly, Captain.
Whose side are we on?
We are on the British side.
Yeah.
Oh, didn't you know?
And on whose side are the British?
Captain Wingate, at first I found you rather amusing. Now I fear you are being dreadfully zealous about the situation. Let me make it clear to you, sir. We are here to maintain peace between two sides, the Arabs and the Jews. This is 1936, Captain Wingate. I needn't tell you of the past history of this area. It's been tense, and we've managed to relieve that tension.
How, sir?
By minding our own business. We shall continue to act accordingly. Remember that. Is there anything else?
Yes, sir. Long before I reached Palestine, I knew what the Jews were seeking. I understood what they needed, sympathized with their aims, and knew they were right. This is not a personal conviction, Colonel. It is based on fact, legal fact. Palestine is a British mandate under the League of Nations, dedicating us to create a national Jewish homeland. It is my belief, sir, as a soldier, that every man must proclaim his allegiance when there are opposing sides.
You're very right, Captain. Proclaim your allegiance to whomever you wish, as long as it is England.
But Captain Wingate was a man who searched for truth, and, soldier or civilian, a man who searches for truth proclaims his own allegiance. That night, Ord C. Wingate drove across Mount Carmel, stopped outside a block of flats, doused the lights of the car, went inside. It was his first evening out in Palestine. He was to remember it for the rest of his life.
Shalom.
Shalom.
Oh, I beg your pardon. You must have the wrong
I have the right address. Is your husband at home?
No, sir.
Someone for me, my dear?
Come in, please.
Thank you.
Well, good evening, Captain.
Good evening, Mr. Wilansky.
This is my wife, Captain Wingate.
Well, you do a good job. You even have my name.
Especially your name. Sit down, please.
Thank you.
Would you care for a drink? Whiskey and soda, perhaps?
An excellent British concoction.
Oh, whiskey is universal, Captain. As universal as people taste. What can I do for you?
I've seen your face in the files at GHQ. Tell me the truth now. Is it a fact that you are Chief Intelligence Officer for the Haganah?
You mustn't believe everything you hear.
You don't need to play diplomatic games with me. Why are you afraid? Why don't you say what you are?
I'm not afraid to say what I am. I'm a Jew.
Then tell me, Mr. Wilansky, do you believe in a Zionist state? In an independent state of Israel?
I'm not afraid of answering that. Yes, I do.
You do. But do you know what it means? Do you Jews realize that you will have to fight for your independence?
I think, Captain Wingate, that we do.
But fight. I mean fight, a bloody struggle.
There will be no free Palestine for the Jews unless you fight.
Well, fighting is just a small part of it, my friend. We cannot fight until we're sure we can win.
And how do you propose to do that?
If I could answer that, we would be fighting now.
I would like to teach you, Mr. Wilensky. I would like to teach you how to fight, and then I should like to lead you.
Why?
It seems too simple to say that I arrived in Palestine a convinced Zionist, but it happens to be the truth.
Your whiskey and soda, Captain.
The Haganah knew that British policy was against an independent Jewish state. They knew that Wingate was an intelligence officer, and they watched him, not knowing whether they were being goaded or tricked. It took just a little while before they discovered that Ord Wingate was sincere. As one member of the Haganah remarked, he had the smell of a soldier about him. For 18 months, Wingate passed up the teas and the dances and did what he had come to Palestine to do. There was little equipment, but he used what he had. He trained the Haganah. And finally, with his friend Zvi Brenna, he put it to its first test. He took a 7-man patrol, went off into the darkness. The other men waited for his signal.
That's it.
What's taking so long?
Remember what he said, Dan. They don't expect an attack from us. Let them pass until they're surrounded. Then we will open fire. Patience, my friend.
They look for him.
They will not find him.
Trust him, he will get away. He should be back by now.
He is back by now.
Where did you come from?
They approach. Are the others ready?
They've been ready for years.
Not ready, Dayan. Eager. Now let us show these people that the night does not belong to the Arabs alone. Fire! Fire!
It was well into the morning when they got back. Filthy, badly scratched, exhausted, but triumphant. They were home. But Jerusalem was also the home of British Army headquarters.
For Wingate to deliberately flaunt British policy, to take the Jews into action and encourage them to infiltrate, to fight, when he knows that they must defend themselves only inside their settlements. To do it without permission?
The man's insane. I can't understand how General Wavell has allowed him to remain here. And I don't think he will for long.
Are you serious, Wingate? Are you trying to start an all-out war?
We have started nothing, General Wavell.
We? You forget you're a British officer.
Yes, sir, I'm a British officer who was sent to do a job. I'm doing that job as I see fit.
But not as I see fit, and there are still channels of command.
The Arab rebellion is growing worse, sir. Why must a man be allowed only to defend himself? If he must defend, that means he's being attacked, in which case it is his right to counterattack.
But you can't keep peace by going out on patrols, by shooting up the perimeter.
This is not fighting, sir. This is fighting back.
Trust you, Wingate, if you don't sound like a Gideon in British uniform.
Thank you, sir.
I was not complimenting you. I was merely making an observation.
Go in this thy might, and thou shalt save Israel.
What?
Gideon, sir. That's what he said. It's in the Bible.
Captain, I sent you to Palestine because I thought you were the best man for the job.
Then trust me, sir. I have a plan.
Very well. But make it good, Captain. And in the process of saving Israel, I advise you not to destroy the British Empire.
When Wingate returned to headquarters, the staff officers were surprised to see him. They were certain that General Wavell would never allow him to come back to Palestine. As he entered, there was silence for a moment, and then...
Colonel. Isn't that Wingate, sir?
Wingate? It couldn't be. I understood. Yes, it is Wingate.
What the devil's he doing back here?
Captain Wingate reporting, sir.
What? Oh, yes, of course. Well, Wingate, how did you make out?
I'm leaving, sir.
Oh. Oh, well. That's too bad, Wingate. Sorry to lose you.
Yes, indeed. Sorry to lose you, Wingate.
Thank you, sir.
When are you going?
Tomorrow morning.
That soon? Huh?
Yes, sir.
By ship?
No, sir. Truck.
Truck?
Yes, sir. I'm posted at Ain Harod.
Ain Harod?
Along with the volunteers who wish to go with me.
Is this a joke?
No, sir. It's all here in the orders, sir.
Well, surely you don't think any of our men would volunteer?
I think they will. With your permission, sir, I should like to call for a formation.
Wingate, you're a magician.
Or a madman.
They were to find out which almost immediately. The enlisted men were told to fall into the company area. The colonel and the major assembled the staff to observe what their problem child was about to do.
Assemble, sir!
Thank you, Sergeant. Stand easy. Gentlemen, I'm looking for volunteers. With the permission of General Wavell, I am proceeding to Ain Harod to form the Haganah into a fighting unit. And I need men. As many as I can muster. Questions?
You mean we're going to help the Jews, sir?
I mean exactly that. First volunteer.
An auspicious beginning.
I wish Wavell were here to see this.
It would mean less spit and polish and more action. It means doing what you were sent here to do. You joined to fight, all right, I'm giving you the opportunity. Volunteer.
I'm rather enjoying this.
You will be dressed in blue shirts, linen trousers, and gym shoes, and be mixed with the settlement members. You will be equipped with rifles, hand grenades, a water bottle, and a pole on the end of which a torch could be tied. In this way, since your activities will be at night, you could signal to each other above the scrub without giving your exact positions away to watching Arabs. There will be strict discipline, of course, but I intend to make each enlisted man a non-commissioned officer, with the usual advancement in privilege.
I'll go, sir.
All out. With the advancement in privilege will go the advancement in pay.
Oh, I'll go, sir.
All out.
Me too, sir.
All out.
Help me, sir.
All out.
Well, Major, which is he?
Magician, I'm afraid.
Wingate began operations from Ain Harod on an approved basis. He started a school to train Jewish settlers in the art of making guerrilla warfare. There was stupefaction in GHQ and jubilation in the Jewish agency. From settlements all over Palestine, men were ordered by Haganah to volunteer for service. Soon, Wingate was in full gear. Only one thing was missing, one detail. He went to see his old friend, Emanuel Walensky.
I have a job for you, Emanuel.
Oh, not unusual for you, Captain.
My boys wear their working clothes when they go into action. But when they're in Ain Harod, they need something to remind them that they are a corps d'élite. We will not go to the expense of providing them with a full uniform, of course, but I have decided that they shall have a distinctive hat.
A hat?
Yes. The sign of a man of the Special Night Squadron of the SNS will be an Australian hat. And I want real hats. Hats from London. And soon.
He got his hats, and soon. The course of instruction began with the help of 2 junior British officers. It is now part of the handbook of training for the Israeli army.
This is a course for Jewish sergeants.
It is to be known as the Soldier's 10 Commandments. 1. Know and love what you fight for. 2. Carry out every order of your commanding officer with speed and understanding. Accept his leadership with faith and don't ask permission to add your explanation to his words and instructions. 3. Use your equipment only in fulfillment of your duty and use it sparingly. 4. Abstain from brutality and cruelty.
We are not making war on the Arab nation, but on the Arab gangs. And towards the ordinary Arabs, we will abstain from cruelty and brutality. A coarse and savage man makes a bad soldier.
Laziness, quarrelsomeness, and self-indulgence. Those are the vices of soldiers. The man who desires to drink the moment he gets thirsty, the man who becomes ill-tempered and stubborn when he is tired, the man whose self-restraint weakens when he endures physical effort, he is indeed a bad soldier.
For these theories, and for putting them into operation, Ord C. Wingate earned the DSO plus promotion to the rank of major. The Wingate Army fought when it could. It was no longer a waiting operation. At Daburiya, it overturned one of the most dangerous nests of Arab gangsters in Palestine. And attacks both upon the pipeline and the settlements, though they went on, were never quite as serious again. But there were reactions to the operation which would have serious repercussions for him. At the Colonial Office in London, questions were beginning to be asked about his work.
This man, a professional soldier, has been allowed to throw authority and caution out of the window.
Yes, he has.
Do you realize that the Arabs have placed a price of £1,000 on his head?
Mm-hmm.
They almost got him, too. He was wounded during a skirmish. Put him in the hospital.
Is it true that he is actually training Jews in the art of warfare? Actually training them to become even more belligerent than they already were?
He's deliberately going out and killing Arabs. Arabs whose friendship is most important for us to keep. I think we'd better have a talk with the Commander-in-Chief.
I understand General Wavell is very close to him.
General Wavell departs tomorrow. General Haining will be his replacement.
General Haining had at first acquiesced in the establishment of Ein Harod as a school for the SNS. Now he was beginning to have his doubts, something Major Wingate was at first unaware of, but not for long.
Dispatch for you, sir.
Leave it on the desk, Sri.
I think you better read it.
Oh?
Perhaps you'd like me to do it for you.
All right, if you like.
You're a fool to work so hard, Wingate. A man who suffered a wound like yours.
Well, what do you suggest, Sri? That I stay in hospital? There are many things...
There are many things we will not be able to do without you. If you continue at this pace, I fear we shall have to do just that.
Read the dispatch and stop talking nonsense.
Memorandum to Major Ord C. Wingate. Subject, dispersal of all British personnel.
Let me have it.
Effective immediately, all British personnel will be returned to their home bases. It is hereby ordered that the organization known as the Special Night Squadron will be abandoned without delay.
All British personnel?
Yes.
But General Wavell...
General Wavell is gone. He's been replaced by General Haining.
Wingate tried to see General Haining and asked for a reprieve, but he was refused an interview, and through channels was forbidden even to return to Ein Harod. He gloomed around Jerusalem and Haifa, well aware that he was being mocked and sneered at by practically every British officer in the command. He had one task which, fortunately, occupied his mind.
Dr. Weitzman would like you to prepare a paper of defense, Major. The time approaches when the white paper on Palestine will be issued. We're hopeful that it will grant us our independence.
You want me to prepare it?
Only you.
It should be prepared by a Jew, Emmanuel.
Where could we find a better Jew than you, Major?
So Wingate wrote a document called The Jewish State, Security and Defense, transition period, which is today one of the most treasured documents in the archives of Israel. He wrote it, certain that his military career was in danger, that an independent Jewish state was still some time away, but he wrote it nevertheless. And he was right, for the net result of his activity was dismissal. Before he went home, his beloved Jewish settlers in the special night squads threw him a farewell party.
I know, Major, that a farewell party should have music and laughter, but this is not exactly a celebration for us.
I know. Thank you, Emmanuel.
I'm glad you were able to come. We should have missed you more were we not permitted to say goodbye. Now we wait for just that, my friend.
What you have already left us is here. Tell us how we can preserve it. Tell all of us, please.
I should like you to hear what my commanding officer has written on my report. It says, Ord C. Wingate is a good soldier, but so far as Palestine is concerned, he is a security risk. He cannot be trusted. He puts the interests of Jews before those of his own country. He should not be allowed in Palestine again. I am sent away from you and from the country I love. I suppose you know why. It is because we are two great friends.
There's no such thing as too great a friend.
But my country disagrees. But I promise you I shall come back. And if I cannot do it the regular way, I shall return as a ma'apil, an illegal refugee. You asked me to tell you how to preserve what I've left you. There is but one way. When the state of Israel becomes a reality, make it work. For myself, I shall always preserve what you have given me.
Hold, people! Hold!
No. Let them see. Let them cheer each other. Let it become the Jewish national sport.
These were the last words Major Ord C. Wingate spoke to his beloved people. He was to go on to other campaigns, Ethiopia, Burma, where he was to rise in rank to Major General, and at the age of 41, go down with his plane and crash to death in the Burma jungles. He was never to return. But before he left Palestine, he climbed the hills of Mount Tabor once again to look out at his cherished, adopted land and say to himself the words of the psalm he chanted when he arrived.
Shir Hamalot Beshuv Adonai et Shivat Zion Hayinu Kecholmin Az Yimale Sechok Binu Uleshonenu Rina. When the Lord turned upon the captivity of Zion, we were like them that dream. Then was our mouth filled with laughter, and our tongue with singing. For all around him was the land of the Bible, and it is a shining land. Eastward it looks upon the sacred tomb of the Druses, and drops down the glassy waters of the Galilee and the discolored cliffs like decayed teeth on the Syrian shore. North is the Mount of the Beatitudes, and the calm cone of Mount Hermon. South is the hot shimmer of the Jordan Valley. And westward, the ground is rich and sprouting with corn as it rolls down toward the Mediterranean, past the well of Ein Harod, where Gideon is buried.
If you would like a copy of today's script, please send your name and address with 10 cents to cover the cost of postage and handling to the Jewish Theological Seminary of America, 3080 Broadway, New York 27, New York. And now we take great pleasure in presenting His Excellency Abba Eban, Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary to the United States and Israel's Permanent Representative at the United Nations, and author of the newly published book, Voice of Israel. Here is Abba Eban.
This man beheld a vision, strove mightily for its realization, and passed from the scene before its radiance had begun to dawn. Yet Ord Wingate never doubted that Israel would arise in sublime fulfillment of historic destiny, nor that its rise would encounter fierce challenge and become the fruit of bitter contest. This was a turbulent spirit, a man of strife and of contention unto all the earth. But amidst all the struggle his essential vision was one of peace in Zion. His conscience was aroused to bitter passion by the tidal wave of death and havoc which swept over the Jewish people before and during the Second World War. I recall him sitting there in glowering resentment amongst friends in London with Chaim Weizmann, or as I welcomed him in Cairo on his way to Quebec from his triumphs in Burma. Israel for him was redress for injustice. Israel was home for a people to be established within the Arab world, in which the Arab peoples had so broad and lavish a home. Israel was to be the center of dynamic and constructive purpose in a backward and stagnating Middle East. Israel was to be the citadel of freedom in an area where liberty had few other bulwarks. Israel, above all, was to be the literal fulfillment of that divine prophecy in which he had been nurtured. Then will I return the dispersed of my people, and establish an ensign amongst the nations, and gathered together the troubled of Judah from amongst all the tribes of the earth. He taught our youth to dream and labor, and to fight for the fulfillment of this vision. And he fell, alas, too soon by the way. Today, as we enter our 10th summer, we are proud to feel that the brave ambitions which sustained his latter years have not proved false. For all time, the free people of Israel will number him amongst the righteous who, according to the Hebrew tradition, shall inherit the life to come.
Thank you, Abba Eben. Our Eternal Light drama today, Gideon Goes to War, was written by Stephen Gethers and was based on a book of the same name by Leonard Mosley. It was presented in observance of the 9th anniversary of Israel Independence Day. Cantor David Putterman sang the liturgical introduction. Featured in the cast were Alexander Scorby as Ord Wingate, Sam Gray as Walensky, Bert Cowan as Svi, Bernard Lenrow as General Wavell, William Podmore as the Colonel, Burford Hampton as the Major, Alistair Duncan as Peters, Alfred Shirley as Warren, and Bryna Rayburn as Mrs. Walensky. The narrator, Norman Rose. This is Mel Brandt. Our program was directed by Kenneth McGregor. This weekly program is presented under the auspices of the Jewish Theological Seminary of America. This is the NBC Radio Network.